All right, Shiri, thank you. When one election cycle ends, another begins. Especially seems to be true here in Massachusetts. The special Senate election is done. Now the focus is on the upcoming mayor's race, and some have already stepped forward to announce a run for governor in 2014. Our next guest, one of the first to formally announce that he wants to be the next governor of the Commonwealth. This is Dr. Donald Berwick, a Newton Democrat, pediatrician and former head of the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services in the Obama administration. And Dr. Berwick, appreciate you coming in. First of all, why do you want to be governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
I'm just very excited about what Massachusetts can do. The country needs an example of success. We're a state where people are able to come together and get important things done. Right now, Washington's really stuck, and I think the ability to make an example for the country about success in all sectors is what excites me here.
People may look at you and say, well, he's a political newcomer, lack of political experience. Is that a fair assessment of your background?
I'm not a politician, but I've been working for 30 years on improvement of large systems in healthcare and elsewhere. I'm very familiar with government now. I've had a test in Washington with running CMS, and I'm ready for this, I think.
Now, being a pediatrician, obviously you work a lot with little kids. Will that help you as governor dealing with the legislature?
I look forward to dealing with the legislature. I think they want to get the same
Leave
jobs.
the pot shots to us. We'll take care of that. The president did appoint you as the head of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and you did that, but then you resigned. What led to that decision?
Oh, I had to resign. The Constitution required it. The president wanted me to serve as head of CMS. That's a position that's presidentially appointed and Senate confirmed.
Right.
The Senate Republicans blocked my confirmation. They opposed me. I think they opposed President Obama and used me as a symbol. So he chose to make me a recess appointee, which you can do under the Constitution. But that's a term appointment. It ended in December 2011. I had no choice. I had to leave.
Republicans claimed that they thought anyway that you were going to ration medical services. What was your response to that, and why did they make that claim, do you think?
It was hogwash. They took a three words piece out of an interview I'd had. No, I'm against rationing. I hate it. I fought every day of my work as a pediatrician. I went to the mat every day for kids. That just doesn't make any sense at all.
So when people say, well, you're not politically tested in some ways, you have been based on, maybe not the political background, but have been politically tested based on your experience in Washington.
I've been in a cauldron. I've also seen the best of government, what government really can do when it works right.
For example?
Well, trying to implement Obamacare. That's a great step forward for this country. It makes healthcare a human right in America, which is really important. My job was to translate the law into productive regulations to deal with the Congress, the White House, the public, and try to do the best job we possibly could.
Are there any flaws in Obamacare that you see?
Well, it's a little slow if you ask me. I mean, I think healthcare is a human right. It ought to be a human right, and Obamacare it kind of eases us into that as a country between now and really 2020, and I wish we could go a little faster. But it's a great law. I felt very privileged to get to deal with it.
What do you see as the biggest issue facing Massachusetts right now?
Well, for the whole country, it's the economy. It's can we build sustainable communities where people can be confident they'll have a job, our children have a future, and where we can fund important infrastructures, education, transportation, grow jobs, and create a great economy. In Massachusetts in particular, we have to execute the change in healthcare here. Massachusetts is 4 or 5 years ahead of the country. We have to succeed in healthcare reform in this state, or there are consequences.
What types of things do you need to do, though, as governor, if you're governor, to improve the economy, make sure we're creating jobs, people have a place to go to work?
Well, healthy economies come from healthy communities, and there's not one answer to that question. Healthcare matters. Healthcare is taking too much of the public and private treasury right now, and we can have much better healthcare at lower costs. That's important. We need better transportation. Our transportation infrastructure is really in dire straits. The average railroad engine in Massachusetts is 22 years old, and the engines last 20 years. We're very risky there. I think the big deal is education. Everybody I talk to, all the experts I tap, say strong education makes for strong economies and better jobs, and I think we really have to invest in that.
And name recognition. People are starting to get to know you. They don't know you as well as, let's say, Mike Capuano or Steve Lynch, who may get into the race. We don't know about that. How do you combat that, get your name out there a little bit more, and distance yourself or make yourself stand out from what could be a pretty significantly sized pack?
It's really fun to go out and meet people. I've been going to living rooms and meetings all over the state, and it's it's a day-by-day, person-by-person enterprise. It's the best part of this, getting out to meet people and really find out what they care about. I love it, and I'll get name recognition if I make the case that I really can do the job that they want done. Right,
and a lot of energy you're going to need because it's a long haul. You're in early, and maybe that'll work to your advantage.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Dr. Berwick, thanks you very much. You do appreciate it. Donald Berwick, Democrat. He is running for governor here in the Commonwealth for 2014. We have to take a break. We'll continue the Fox 25 Morning News in just a moment.